Hi family, how you guys doing? Welcome to Phie.Love Intuitive Conversations. If you like my content, please do like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any negativity, any hate, any arguing to do, it won't be acknowledged. Keep it on your side of the street, okay? I'll just delete your comment or whatever it is, whatever. Anyway, so today, okay, well, in this video, I want to have a talk a little bit about nothing to judge oneself over, okay, but maybe just something to reconsider, something to, you know, recognize I still have life, I'm still alive, I can still grow and do certain things, I still have the power to change my mind, I'm not bound to anything, right? And getting to that place by simply having a different perspective on maybe the usual script that we've all somehow been groomed into thinking is how we need to grow, elevate, and achieve in life. Whereas you see, times are changing now, and people are becoming more open to understanding that some things are not just the only way. Some things are not the only measurements of achievement that every single human being needs to subscribe to. And if they don't do it in that sort of way, that they are something to be excluded, something to feel guilty over, something to be shamed over, or whatever it might be, Sometimes doing things the other way is more freeing. And what I'm talking about is, the usual script. You are born, you are at that point groomed by parents who were already groomed by a system that you are now coming into, right? And once you become of age, you are then so looking at your parents and society around you, you're already at that at that age of impression, being given a sort of concept, whether you can put it in words or not, as to what life is like when you grow up, right? That's when it gets stuck into our minds. That's when it's solidified. That's when how our outcome of life is already shaped for us, and what we think from that very young and tender age that we can comprehend all of that, what we think we need to work towards. So what's the script? It's that portion, then it's moving straight into the system of programming, indoctrination, making sure our minds are primed and molded in a certain way that has us operating in a way that is structured correctly to exist in a specific kind of society, right? And that programming is what changes and over time and becomes more intense and geared towards making us believe that we will fit right after all this programming into another form of system or workforce. So the main programming of shaping of the minds goes right up until the end of university. Whatever the system brings into you and deems as right and fit as what you're supposed to be learning, what you can learn, how far your idea of mental, educational, whatever kind of growth that you can put inside you is all shaped and decided upon by the system of indoctrination that is imposed, right? And all of that is specifically done in a way so that you can fit into a certain workforce that again is created and approved and molded by the very same system. And depending on how strong you are in that specific workforce, you decide how strong you are as a human being in your specific society. And then comes the social and personal aspect to all of that, where it's graduating from your indoctrination and having a certificate to feel great about that. I've been indoctrinated, well done, fine, let's have a party. Guys, I'm not taking away from anybody, I'm just saying it for what it is. And if anyone gets triggered by what I'm saying and wants to lash out and say that I'm taking away from people's achievements, then I'm sorry that you feel that way. You don't have to be on my channel. It is what it is, okay? And yeah, then comes the personal aspect to it, where we are then groomed on how we need to shape and mold and the direction we're supposed to move our perception of our personal lives. And this already starts from the time that we are being groomed by our parents. As teens, we are groomed, and well, as not even teens, before teenage, before teen time, we've been groomed by programs that we are made to watch, starting with the cartoons when we are kids, right up into the time that we are now teenagers. And it's whatever is shoved into us on TV and through the phones and whatever it might be, to mold our mind around what our personal lives, our idea of love, our idea of success in a personal life, in a relationship, how it's supposed to be, how we're supposed to depend, how we're supposed to, decide this means I'm loved, this means I'm cared for, this means I'm accepted, this means I've accomplished, this means I'm in a functional space. When a lot of the time it isn't functional, what do I want to say? We are groomed into getting comfortable in dysfunction, I would say. And then that plays out through experiences in our 20s. It sets the standard for the expectations that we decide we need to expect out of the people around us, regardless of whether people are healed or not. Marriage then starts becoming a thing, and then it's children, and then it's being in a system circle that continues until you are old. And from the spiritual view of it, then your soul goes and has to come back and try and work through all the lessons again that somehow end up being the same thing, because we are not stepping out of a system that was designed to keep us trapped, right? So now that I've said what I've said and maybe poked a few holes, I hope, maybe it's upset you, maybe it's supposed to upset you, I don't know. I'm just giving my perspective on it, okay? How you decide to frame that in your idea of reality, whether you are open enough to grab onto the perspective and consider the perspective I'm talking about or not, that is up to you, and you don't have to be here. I'm just saying, okay? Now, with that being all said, okay, if you are the person who is watching this and it has somehow switched on a light in your mind, and you think back to your life and you're like, you know what? I went through that entire script. That was the script I went through. I was born, I was influenced on what my life was going to turn out to be by seeing what my parents existed in, what I was shown and groomed into on TV. I was put into school. I was taught how to be, how to think, how to operate, how to be with my friends. I was taught how to feel accepted. I was shown in that aspect over there what is right and what is wrong, And then I went to Sunday school, and Sunday school had a lot of things as well, telling me about how, Jesus loves me. And I didn't quite really know what Jesus loves me meant, but hey, they said Jesus loves me, so whoever this guy out there, Jesus, is, he must love me. And that sort of, evolved as it evolved, and I played a part in all of those things that come with whatever it was. And then I found myself going through whatever I was going through in my teen years. I found myself becoming semi-obsessed with relationships and the opposite sex. But then again, when I really think about it, I was programmed to think that way. I was told that's how teens behave, and that's what we do. And when I really think about it, that kind of stuff as an input was bombarded into me in many areas, on TV, on my phone, with the kinds of stuff that gets directed to me, on the internet. It was reinforced by the conversations and the way I was treated by the adults around me, and it was reinforced as well by the behavior of the other teens and age mates and peers who were existing with me as well. And then that sort of took its course, and evolved somehow, or changed somehow into whatever I experienced during varsity. And now I maybe find myself in a relationship with somebody, and I am, happy, content, you think, with how it's going. It fits the script of what I've been told a relationship is supposed to look like and feel like, however it's been portrayed to me on TV, and however it's been clapped about in every way, shape, or form with the people around me, and how me and this relationship, we've worked ourselves out. Or I'm in a relationship that is just, in my view, or to the view of the outside world, dysfunctional, and I'm stressed, I feel suppressed, I feel used. There's a certain script we go through, and that script, I guess, depending on how you've been programmed, how you've healed, what your parents have put you through, what you haven't gone through or received from your parents, whatever it is, that script is there. And there are parts of the script that we aspire to, or that we're told we need to aspire to fulfill and achieve, and there are parts of the script that you fall into that aren't really very nice, right? But none of that script really considers me as a human being. What does that mean? Me being a human being. None of that script considers me evolving. None of that script considers me expanding, pushing through my emotions, pushing through my experiences. None of that script really engages me fully deciding, what is it that I want? What do you want? That script only considers what society tells you to want, or what you should want for yourself, that will fit into whatever it is that you're living in, and what everyone else around you says is right, says should be done, says is accepted, and however the system over time decides to water down this aspect of it, be it traveling, be it really understanding what money is all about, or yeah, wherever it's manipulated and reprogrammed and adjusted over time to get the masses moving in a certain way, that's how you move. But what about you? Does it consider you learning how to not be dependent? I don't think so. It considers you learning how to evolve into different stages of dependency through your relationships, through different areas of a system. It considers you getting acquainted with how to get further trapped into the workings of a system to get what they program you into believing that you want. I hope what I'm saying is making sense. How has this affected you in all the areas of your life? In your ability to evolve and vibrationally meet with different kinds of information? Or has it just stopped where you decide to, expand on the kind of information that you take in and choose to make a part of your experience? How has it affected the way you view relationships? Do you think that your view of relationships is a healthy one? Has it worked out for you, or are you in a constant state of, suppressing yourself in some way, shape, or form, and not really knowing what it is that's supposed to make you happy? Because maybe we all end up with people who are unhappy with themselves. So what about our relationship is making us happy? The external person's ability to meet the requirements of what the system says a relationship needs to bring to a table? I don't know. Maybe we're just asking the question, right? What about your own personal evolvement? What about has the script gotten you into a space where you've become tied down and stuck into a marriage, relationship, family situation, job, mountain of debt that has somehow solidified itself in your life now for however many years before you actually were able to sit back, take some time and years to yourself, by yourself, to figure out what would actually make you happy? Where would your soul want to go? We all get trapped at some point, right? But what matters is how soon we choose to wake up and decide, hey, something isn't right. Something isn't right. I still have a bunch of years on my life. I'm not going to let these people or the system or whatever it is I'm existing in tell me I'm too old. If I still have years on my life, that means I can still make a change. That means I can still decide differently. I can still take on things that are not part of the script, right? What would I have to do that? There's always a way. But acknowledging and recognizing at first that you've been existing in a script, a movie, and that everything you expose yourself to on TV, on your phone, the people who are programmed by the very same things are what are so strategically placed in your life in that specific way to keep you there, to keep you in fear, brainwash you into believing that is the place of safety, that is the place of comfort, that is what is right, because everyone else is also doing it. And the moment you start stepping out of it, things like anxiety and whatever else is there to make you feel uneasy for stepping off that specific course is put in place to keep you there. but it takes acquiring a different kind of perspective over it all to be able to make that change and, you know, want to experience something different responsibly. So I can get deeper into all of this. I have so much about this kind of stuff that I love to talk about, and that, yeah, over time, once you recognize it, it takes time, but it's a journey in itself to work your way out of it and, you know, educate yourself and learn and grow and make the changes to your life to feel like you're not as bound to the script anymore. But the first step out is to recognize it and be real with yourself. Don't judge yourself, and be able to say fuck everyone else out there. I'm not gonna do this shit anymore. I'm not. What is, if I make this change, what's the worst that could happen? Am I prepared to live through that? Okay. Each to their own, right? So, I'm not gonna pull a card for this video. I just hope maybe it's put on a few lights in some minds and made you maybe really consider what the fuck it is that you've been existing in. What are the things that you've been programmed to feel proud about and accomplished over? Decide, is it you who feels proud about it, or is it the ones on the outside who feel proud about it and you're just happy that you get to appease people on the outside with your energy and your actions? Who knows? Anyway, if this has resonated with you, please do hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And if you haven't done that on your way in, it doesn't cost a thing. On your way out, please do so. And I will see you in the next video. Okay? Bye.